Welcome to the Buffalo Take, episode one. I'm Cam Dixon, and I'm with Travis Ojabina.
What's up,
Uh,
guys?
we're gonna we're starting a new podcast. It's about sports, pretty much. Really, all sports doesn't really matter, but we're gonna usually focus on football since it's in season, and then we're gonna add in betting too, because everybody loves betting. Let's start with college football. I feel like
Yeah,
that's we can get into
I
the
agree.
NFL in a little bit, but we'll start with college football. It's a big week for college football. I mean, all weeks are big weeks if you think about it, but Ohio State, Penn State this week.
Huge game for the Buckeyes.
Big.
Huge game.
It's a prove it game for both teams.
Yeah.
You gotta Ohio State's gotta prove that they can beat the good teams, and Penn State's gotta prove they can hang with the good teams.
Worried about Kyle McCord though. I don't
Aren't we
know.
all?
He
I
scares.
I think he's good. He's coming into his own, but he
Yeah, I agree.
steps back. It's
Hmm.
just the slow starts. They can't start slow against a team like Penn State.
Yes, slow starts and then like third quarter, end of the third quarter, they start finally picking it up.
Like I mean, they played great in the second half against
Yeah.
Maryland, but the start was terrible. I thought they were
Oh,
going to lose that game.
so did I.
But I don't know, Penn State. I sent you this earlier. I saw Penn State's like stats in the last or since they lost to Ohio State last. I'll pull it
Mhm.
up here. They're like, I think it's 11-0. They put up 30 points per game. They've got a couple shutouts.
They
I
got a
mean,
good
granted,
defense.
those shutouts are against not very good teams, but I think that Penn State team is good.
Yeah,
My key in
100%.
matchup though, Marvin Harrison Jr. versus Kalen King.
Yeah,
It's going to be a
good.
good. Both of them could be good players in the NFL
Yeah.
today, but I
Is
dude,
Travion playing?
I don't know. I
Did they
haven't
say anything about
seen
that yet?
I haven't seen the Travion Henderson
Game time decision, sounds
game
like.
time decision.
Yeah.
We'll see. That backfield was diminished last week.
Mhm.
All three of the top guys.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it happens. But I mean, my bias in that Marvin Harrison matchup, it kind of tends to go towards Marvin Harrison a little bit more. But
Obviously.
Kalen King's good. I just think that Marvin Harrison is great.
He's different.
He's
He's
just
different.
he's the best wide receiver
Yeah.
by far.
100%.
Even if
Yeah.
he, it's like JSN last year. If he got hurt and didn't put up any numbers, he's still the
Mhm.
best wide receiver in that class. It's
Yeah.
not. It's you can't really deny it.
Yeah. I agree.
Other than that, there's some good games on.
USC Utah.
See, I think Utah would win that one if they had Cam Rising, but
Yeah.
I don't know. USC's just a
They're falling off. Their
they gotta.
defense, their defense
Yeah,
is horrible.
that was not a good showing last week. But speaking of Caleb Williams, he just came out. He said he wants to
I
stay
saw that.
in the team that drafts him. Now,
Yeah.
at first, like you could think one of two things. It's like this kid's an idiot, or he's just making money, which we all want to make money. But what are your thoughts on that?
Uh, I don't. That's interesting. I don't think that's gonna happen. There's no way.
Yeah, like I mean, if he
Until
gets
you're
drafted,
until he's proven in the NFL, that's not
right,
happening.
right, I can see him down the line like owning the team he plays for, but like
Yeah.
because that's just the
Right
way.
away. No way.
Like, okay, let's say he's playing like Tom. Like, I'm not gonna say he is Tom Brady, but let's say he makes it to like 40 years old and he's rich as fuck. If he like the way the world is going, I wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of money in the NFL,
Yeah, there's
but definitely not now. Like if
yeah.
he's drafted by Chicago, I mean, maybe they'll sell like a share to him or like Green Bay because
Yeah,
Green Bay is
maybe.
like fan owned. But I that's not happening with
Yeah,
most
Green Bay, I could
franchises.
see, but yeah.
Yeah,
Wait, who has got number one right now with the Bears, right? Bears got one and two right now.
yeah, I think so. I think they still do. Dude, if they get
Okay.
Caleb Williams
Move
and
on.
Marvin Harrison,
Yeah, Caleb and Marvin, get rid of
that
Justin.
would that would be
Uh
huge. But I mean, it's still the Bears. They got
yeah.
to build the defense too.
Yeah, obviously.
So, I mean, back to that game, USC and Utah. USC at home. I
Mhm.
think they're going to bounce back. Utah's been a good team this year, but they haven't really played. I mean, they've played good teams. They're in the Pac-12, but they haven't really played
I
anybody
think, yeah, I think
outstanding.
he will win that.
Like they played Oregon State and UCLA, but other than that, it's not much.
Yeah,
So I think I got USC winning that one.
me too. I can, yeah, I don't see them losing that.
Yeah. If they lose that's they might
Then
drop out of the top 25.
they'll drop out of the rankings 100%.
But then again, it's USC, so
Yeah,
will they take them out just because they lost?
yeah,
You would hope they would, but
yeah. But it is the college football
it,
rankings.
this is a fun game for me because my buddy's a Michigan fan. Michigan State at Michigan State. I know Michigan's gonna kick the shit out of them. It's
Yeah,
not,
100%. No way.
but what if 8 years ago, was it yesterday? The on the last play of the game, Jalen Watts Jackson. What if? That's not
Maybe.
uh
Probably.
Duke and FSU. Duke still got
Uh,
Riley Leonard
Duke,
out, I think.
yeah, Duke.
FSU's just gonna be too good.
Yeah.
Um, Other than
Oh,
that,
we got Tennessee, Alabama.
oh, that's right, yeah. I mean, Alabama at home, it's still Alabama. Alabama's been
I
struggling this
know.
year, but so is
When I
Tennessee.
went to the game, dude, they looked like dog shit. They
Yeah,
were
I
like,
will say though,
I mean, that
US,
was their worst. That was probably their worst game of the season, honestly.
yeah,
Against,
I think they woke up after that one,
yeah,
and they did.
and
After that.
Tennessee lost to Florida. What was it, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, I like Tennessee still. I think they're good. I think Alabama's good. Both teams, it's another one of those prove it games.
I think I got Bama in this though. I'm
I
liking
3:30
Bama
at
at home.
3:30 at Bryant Denny. I think Alabama's
Yeah,
gonna be rocking.
yeah.
I agree with you. I think Alabama's gonna take this one at home. Texas at Houston. Texas should beat them
Texas should, yes,
very
Texas
easily.
very easily.
Very easily. Um,
That was just disappointing that Texas lost that to Oklahoma.
yeah.
Very
But
disappointing.
at least they didn't lose to Alabama too, and they only have one loss. So their
Yeah,
season
that's
is
true.
not dead yet.
Yes.
But man, does Oklahoma look good. Do they play this week, right?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
playing.
Central Florida. Central Florida. This is a team that I'm kind of disappointed. I'm not disappointed in the team itself, but I'm disappointed in the fact that John Reese Plumlee got hurt.
Mhm.
He is so good. He's so athletic. I was so excited to watch him play Big 12 football, and he hasn't played yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. They just moved to Big
Oh,
12.
wait. Game time call. I'm reading this now.
Oh,
John Reese Plumlee will be a game time decision. Oh, at Kansas.
oh yeah.
That game already happened. Wait, so he might be
Oh
back.
yeah, that was 11 days ago.
Is he back?
He might be.
I want him to play against a good team because I think like I could be completely wrong. He played in the American last year,
Wait.
but he is what I've seen out of him. He's really talented.
He's back.
He's let's go.
Hold on. I don't know if is he was like he was 3 for 7, 33 yards in this game.
Okay.
Kansas. So he wasn't completely back yet. So I wonder,
Hopefully he's fully back this week.
yeah.
I mean, first game against Oklahoma was rough, but
Yeah.
you never know. You never know. I still got Oklahoma winning by at least three
Yeah.
scores. I think
Dylan
that's
Gabriel is something.
in the military, we got Air Force and Navy. Air Force is Air Force is playing good this year.
Yeah.
They got ranked this week.
They're ranked, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to Navy up in Annapolis. I think Air Force will beat the brakes off them because Navy is not very good this year.
Oregon, Washington State. At Oregon, though.
Oregon
It's
should
at
bounce
Oregon.
back. Oregon
Yeah.
should bounce back at home.
Washington State's a good team, though.
Washington State is a good team. I'm still kind of mad because I had Washington State in a parlay, and all I needed them was to beat UCLA, and they didn't. And I could have
Oh my
Along,
God. They lost 44-6 to Arizona last week.
dude, that was rough. I didn't even like catch
I
any
didn't
of
even
the
see
game.
that.
I just saw it at the bottom of the screen. I'm like, that's not real. And I
Yeah,
just went
what?
out with my day. I didn't think that was real. And then I saw it. And I'm like,
That's
what?
crazy.
Ooh, the team, the game is not as good as the team I want to talk about. South Carolina at Missouri. I think Missouri is really good this year. They did
Yeah.
they did drop one at home to LSU, but they are still a super good team. They're very talented,
They
well
should have won that
coached. They should have
LSU
won
game.
LSU. But hey, LSU covered with that pick six.
Yeah, didn't
Uh,
even matter and ended up not mattering at all.
yeah. South Carolina is, I mean, they're having pretty much the same start last year. I think if South Carolina somehow upsets Missouri,
Georgia,
they could go on.
Georgia.
Oh, Georgia.
What do
Georgia's
we think
Georgia.
is gonna?
Georgia is
Hmm,
Georgia. They're
Brock Bowers, dude.
Brock Bowers, him being out will wait, do they not play this week?
I think that'll affect them. Who do they play? Who do they play? Let's
I
see
think
who.
they're on a
I think
bye.
they
Of
might be. Yeah, I think they might be in a bye.
course they're on a bye.
Play Florida. Oh, they play Missouri in 2 weeks, and then
That's a game I
Missouri, Ole Miss, Tennessee, 3 games in a row. I could see them losing one of those games.
is Brock Bowers season over?
He's out 4 to 6 weeks, they said.
So basically
So basically,
he'll be
unless they
back if
make
we make
the
the national
playoffs,
championship.
yeah, I
It
could see them
it will
losing one
hurt
of
them.
those.
It will obviously hurt them because it's Brock Bowers. He's the best tight end in the country right now.
Yeah,
But then again, every time I think Georgia's not going to be good, they're still Georgia.
I know.
They still show up.
Well,
They still win. Like they haven't lost a game.
yeah, I know.
What's their? It's their current streak is like 20 something, right?
I Yeah, I think it's like 24 or something.
Like that's insane, especially in the S. Yeah, 24. That's insane. And it's wait. They haven't suffered a loss since the 2021 SEC championship game. 24 consecutive games overall, 34 straight regular season games, 23 straight home games, and 14 straight SEC games.
I don't
That's
know.
insane.
They're gonna drop one of those games for sure, though. There's
Insane.
no way.
That's like I
Brock
want
Bauer
that.
takes over.
Every time I think that they still
He
win.
takes over. He takes over, and if they don't
Yeah.
have that, they're gonna have to find it from someone else.
It was a couple weeks ago when he took over in the fourth quarter,
Yeah. What game was that? They would have lost that if it wasn't for him.
week 5 maybe. Was it against Auburn?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, 157 yards. Yeah,
Yeah.
they only beat Auburn by 7. Now,
Mhm.
Auburn has stepped up their game a little bit. They're still the same old Auburn of recent years. They have Peyton Thorne at quarterback now, but Georgia only beating them by 7. It was in Auburn too, but Georgia only beating them by 7 is rough.
Yeah.
So without Brock Bowers, they lose that game. And which game is that going to be though?
Which game? Yeah.
They have Missouri at home, right?
They're only away at Tennessee.
That might be the one.
It could be, honestly.
Is that the second game or the third game?
Third. They play Florida the 28th too, though.
Florida's a tough test.
It's a tough test all the time. Yeah.
I think they escape the next two.
Yeah.
I think Carson Beck plays good enough to get them these wins, and then they go to
And then
Tennessee.
they
That's
face
where it ends.
Jackson Dart.
Tennessee's going to be in need of a big win at that point if they lose this week.
You think I don't know about Ole Miss though. Jackson Dart.
All 3 games. The SEC is really good this year. I mean, it's always really good, but in terms of Georgia's not 10 levels ahead of everybody,
Yeah.
and I mean Vanderbilt's still down there, but we don't really count Vanderbilt.
They don't even
But like the bottom can beat the top this year, and I like that better than when Georgia's 10 steps ahead of everybody. So
I agree.
I think they could drop a game, but I don't know if they drop 2.
Yeah, I could see one.
But Brock Bowers is a big loss, so we'll see what
Mhm.
happens. The Pac
Yeah.
is another one of those conferences that's really good this year, and I think
Mhm.
USC losing to Notre Dame did not help it. But I still think the Pac-12 could be the best conference of the year when it's all said and done.
I agree.
Uh,
They're really good this year.
I mean, Washington and Oregon was just an awesome game.
That game was
Washington's
crazy.
Washington's good.
Really good.
Like they
Michael
are.
Penix is so good too.
He is. I saw somebody on Instagram compared teams together, and I thought this was one of the better comparisons. Washington is like the Dolphins. They're
Yeah.
led they're led by a guy who is probably the MVP candidates. And even though I hate to say it, too, is he's having a good season in terms of
Yeah.
stats. But
Or we can compare them USC to the Dolphins.
that is true. That is true. I think it all depends on, I mean, you can compare anybody to anybody, but what does it really mean at the end of the day? I think both you could, well, there's so many college teams and there's only 32 NFL teams. The Pac-12 is good. I think all teams, I mean, Stanford proved they could win, even though Colorado's not very good. I want Colorado to be good. I think a lot of people do.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're just
what
they're not there yet.
what happened, man? All right, so Colorado is struggling to say the least. I think they had a good start to the season. They were up there. They were on top of the world. They beat a not good TCU team. They beat an also not good Nebraska team. But it's still two Power 5 wins to start the year.
And then close game against Colorado State. Travis Hunter goes out that game.
I made the excuse that it's a rivalry game. All the games are going to be good. Yeah. These two schools hate each other. They always play harder against each other. And then they run into the buzzsaw that's Oregon.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
Without Travis Hunter.
Without Travis Hunter is tough, but 6 points. And that also, I mean, I still kind of made excuses for them where I said maybe this Oregon team is just so good that they're going to win the whole Pac-12, which they still easily could, but they lost to Washington, who now I think is going to win the Pac-12. It's just
home against USC the next week,
which they played great in the second half. They were getting killed.
Yeah.
They played good in the second half. They came back. Yeah. Their comeback was just cut short. I think that exposed USC a little bit, but they were getting killed early on. Then they go to Arizona State and win by 3. Yeah. Which, I mean, when Shedeur Sanders put the watch on the student section, I'm like, dude, you beat Arizona State by 3 points. You guys are supposed to be ranked. And you guys only beat Arizona State by 3 points. I thought that's when I started to turn. I'm like, all right, this team's not good. I'm like, they're gonna be fun. They're not gonna be good. And then they played Stanford and lost in overtime. To Stanford. They go up 29-0 in the first half to Stanford. I stayed awake for that entire game. I wish I would have just went to bed at 9:00. That was possibly the worst beat of the month. I was so mad. 29-0 to everything. Dude, they were up 29-0. You know how many? That's 4 touchdowns you have to score to tie the game. You think if an average drive horrible. If you score Stanford put up how much? 19 in the third quarter. Still, you should be able to get out of there with a win. It was at home. Yeah, dude, that was bad. There's things that are bad. That was bad. And I got very angry at 2:00 in the morning, and I was texting everybody. I think, I know I texted you. I texted my dad. I didn't even watch that game. I think I was out that night. Yeah, dude, I got back. We got back, and I'm just like, all right, I got this I was thinking all night, I got this in the bag. I made my money. We're good. And then it all fell apart. Yeah. And that's the type of shit that makes me think the world is against me. Every time I do something. That's bad. I text you at 1:04. Colorado is one of the most undisciplined teams I've ever seen, which that's been the story for the whole season. Of unnecessary penalties they've taken. Yeah. The amount of excessive celebrations, sideline warnings. I mean, this team, you think Deion would have these boys disciplined, but they're just not. They're not at all. And I text you, Colorado sucks. And then they physically can't hang with the big dogs. They barely hang with the shit teams. And then I sent you my parlay. And then I said some choice words. Oh my god.
That's a bad beat right there.
I did text my dad, which I thought was funny, and he didn't respond till the next morning, and he told me, he's like, dude, I didn't even know what you were saying. And I go, I texted him, Charles Kelly looks like Professor X, their defensive coordinator,
Oh.
because he's bald. And then I go, this Stanford wide receiver is grown Manning Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
And then I texted him the next day, one of the worst second half performances ever. Colorado sucks.
Mm.
He texted me at 8 in the morning with
Oh,
the emoji of the big eyes, like the shocked. He's like, they lost after being up 29-0. I'm like, yeah, Dad. Yeah,
That's-
thanks. You know, they go to UCLA next week. That's a loss.
Loss.
Then they play home
Yeah.
against Oregon State. Loss. Then they play Arizona. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a loss. At Washington
Yeah.
State. They
They
could lose
just
that
know
one
it.
too. At
They're
Utah.
gonna.
They could lose out
They could.
and go 4-8.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Which, look, they covered, or not covered, they matched their wins from last year in the first game. It's
Mhm.
take Deion Sanders out of it. That's awesome for the program. That they have 4 wins right now,
Yeah.
that's huge.
Honestly.
But you have prime time. You have all these guys who transferred in to play for a winning football team. And you make all these, not promises, but you make all these not half promises, but like they're basically promises, because you keep saying, oh, this is personal. We're not going to let them walk into our house.
Mhm.
You let Stanford walk into your house and come back down 29-0. You let USC take you down at home. That's just the type of things that I just make me think that they could easily lose out.
Florida State.
Florida State's good.
They're
They're a
good.
good team. The early on, the Travis Hunter got banged up in the Boston College game, but they're still a good. I'm gonna say it 3 times. They're a good football team.
You say Travis Hunter got banged up in the
Did I say
Boston
Travis
College?
Hunter? I meant
Yeah.
Jordan Travis.
Jordan Travis.
Yeah, well, Travis and Travis. You know what I'm saying, Travis.
Yeah.
All
Jordan
right.
Travis.
But yeah, he got banged up in the Boston College game. They almost lost, and then they went to Clemson.
They went into Clemson, beat them in OT.
and I think that was still a good win, because Clemson at home they're a different team.
Yeah. That's not tough. It's not an easy game.
And absolutely railed Syracuse.
Yeah, your boys.
I am so just distraught.
They started off so good, dude.
Yeah, but they did last year too. It was
Mhm.
My dad texted me after the 5th game, where we just did not play good at all against Clemson. He goes, well, here comes another collapse. Since that text, we have lost a combined 81-10. And yeah, it's 2 away games against 2 of the best teams in the country, but like, we put up 10 total points in 2 games. If you look at the scores, it's funny because it just keeps going down. They put up 65 against Colgate, 48 against Western Michigan, 35 against Purdue, 29 against Army, 14-7-3. What's next? 0? They've made it through all their difficult games. Last year, Syracuse was 6-0 going into Clemson, and then their season just fell apart because they played all the good teams late.
Yeah.
They play Virginia Tech, Boston College, Pitt, Georgia Tech, and Wake. Now, if they play football, they could win some of those games. How about the Heisman race? Because I think my front runner is, after last week, it's got to be Penix, right?
I agree. I think it's Penix right now.
I think it's him, and then there's just a bunch of guys.
Caleb's got to be up there.
He's got to be 2,
there.
only because he's Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
He's still that good.
And
And
then where do you go after that?
then if Brock Bowers didn't get
Oh.
hurt, he'd be on there.
Yeah. Bo
Jordan-
Nix,
Bo Nix is up there. Jordan Travis will be on there.
Dylan Gabriel. He should
Dylan
be
Gabriel might be my 3. He has played
Yeah.
outstanding. We'll see how he does this week against Central Florida, but if he still puts up stats, he'll do good. And then
I think Penix has it on lock right now at this moment.
yeah, if he keeps playing the way he does, he's gonna get a Heisman.
Yeah.
And you know who's gonna claim him? Indiana. Which is fair because he played there for 4 years, right? He was there for a long time. I think.
No, he did play there 4 years.
Oh yeah, he did. He was good at Indiana.
This is his 6th season.
Oh my god. No wonder he's balling. He's Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's the front runner. And then there's just Caleb Williams and a bunch of guys. Who would you say going into this week is in your top 10?
Not top 10.
Because I think it.
Oh, you got
the
Georgia.
Yep.
You got Michigan.
Yep.
You got OSU.
Agreed.
Florida State.
Yep.
Washington.
Yep.
Oklahoma.
Yep.
Penn State.
Yep.
And then I think Texas still has got to be up there.
I agree with that. I do think they're still in the top 10. Only because not everybody, but some teams lost who would have taken them out.
Oregon got to be up there still.
Yeah, they won't drop far.
And then this 10th spot is, who do you put in this 10th spot?
I think it's really only between two teams if you break it down enough.
Yeah.
And that would be North Carolina and Alabama.
Yeah.
You can make arguments for other teams, but I'm going to put North Carolina. They're still undefeated. I think North Carolina is better than Bama right now.
Yeah, I'm not ready to do that yet.
No, you still put Alabama?
I got Bama at 10 still.
Yeah, I'd put Bama at 11. So I mean, it's really just the flip of the coin. I think we'll see who deserves top 10 more this week.
Mm-hmm.
If Alabama can beat Tennessee.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think outside of that 10th spot, the top 9 teams are pretty undeniable.
Yeah.
Because like 100%. Oregon State, Ole Miss, Utah, they're all good teams, but they just haven't done enough to make the top 10 yet.
Florida State at 4 is...
I think I know what you're getting at, but the thing is they
like,
all just...
Do you put Washington at 4?
Right.
Or do you put...
They just all have taken care of their
business.
Have to see
how top 7 plays out.
Yeah, they all have been able to take care of business when it comes down to it. So you can't really move teams down just because they beat a worse team.
This Ohio State Penn State game this weekend will be
that'll be a huge top 10 game.
Big game.
I mean, that's really the only game that people should really be. If you're going to be focused on a game, that's the game to be focused on.
That'll give us our top 6 right there.
Yep. I think if Ohio State wins, do you put them over Michigan? Because I don't think if Ohio State wins, they move up at all.
You don't think so?
I mean, it's a big win against Penn State, but to take care of business, you can't really move anybody in the top 5.
Yeah, I just non-biased at all though. But like, I feel like if you have this win, you got to move up at least to 1.
At least to 1
for that type of win. All right, yeah, Georgia's staying at 1. Okay?
Yeah, but it also depends on the type of win. If they blow them out of the water and they look like the best football team that has ever lived, you put them at 1.
You put them at 1. But
if they blow them out, I think you could make the argument of moving them up to 2.
Yeah.
If it's a close game, I don't.
Close game, maybe you just keep them.
Yeah.
Penn State moves down.
Penn State
to 10, maybe.
Yeah, they wouldn't move down far.
But say Penn State wins this game.
Penn State.
Where do you move Penn State to?
That's true. I think they jump Oklahoma.
Do they though?
They have to, because Oklahoma's.
They have to, yeah.
I think they.
They go to.
They go to 4, right?
4, yeah.
And.
Ohio State moves down to probably 7.
Probably 7, yeah. The top 7 is so good.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Well, I like that. We'll see what happens come Saturday.
Mm-hmm. What do we think? The college football playoff started this weekend.
If it started
What-
this weekend,
What do we think the top 4 are?
well, you got to put Georgia,
Agree with-
Michigan
do we
in.
agree with the rankings?
I don't know. Because I think Washington makes it.
I think Washington deserves it
I think
over
they do
FSU
too.
right now.
But I think the top 3 stay the same.
Yes, I agree.
You put Washington in over Florida State. It would make it so much more fun if it was at least 8 teams. Like, you don't even have to move it to 12 teams. Just move it to 8.
I know.
Then you got Georgia,
Mich-
Texas, Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Florida State. Florida State, Washington. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Like, you don't got to worry because like the 12-team playoff, they're gonna have to put in like the best of 5 team, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So
I forget how
I don't know, but anything with more teams is fun. Out of the NFL, Week 6 was an interesting one.
Yes, it
to
was.
to say it shortly. A lot of teams lost,
Yeah.
and there are no undefeateds left. You got the Browns beating the Niners, the Jets with a good win over the Eagles, the Bills somehow
So,
escape. They have to escape. What the? I mean, that was bad. Like, that was just not a good game. Ugly win. Didn't score till the 4th quarter.
wins a win.
Win's a win.
That's
all
the
it is.
same. Ugly,
That is all
pretty.
it is. You're right. It all counts the same. And you could say that with every other team. The Chiefs beat the Broncos 19-8.
The Chargers.
The Chargers are not
They
good.
don't win.
They're
Brandon
not-
Staley.
They are not good. I think they could miss the playoffs this year. With how many teams
Or
that
what? 4, 2, and 3.
2 and 3, yeah, that are in the AFC this year that are good, I think they could miss the playoffs because you think, well,
Got
Buffalo should win the division.
should.
Should. I think
Hopefully.
Dolphins and Jets could make the playoffs. Ravens, as of right now, they're leading the division.
Raven, I think Raven will make it.
Jags are leading the division, and the Chiefs are leading the division. So there's your 4 division winners, and then Miami, New York, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Cincinnati all could make the playoffs. I don't think definitely all 3 of them won't, but one of them will.
I think Cincinnati bounces back and
I
get
agree.
back in there.
I agree. They got to find their footing this season still. I think other than that, I think it's going to be there's 3 wildcard teams, right? It's going to be 3 of Miami, New York, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati because I don't know if the Chargers make the playoffs. I don't think the Raiders will. I don't think Indianapolis will now that Anthony Richardson's out. That
Sucks
sucks.
for him.
That sucks.
He was playing good.
It's tough. He's not better than CJ Stroud, though. He's
Nope.
playing good. For the expectations they have. So, yeah, I don't know if the Chargers make the playoffs. It's going to be tough for them. They got to win games. It's really all it is.
I just think Herbert chokes in big games.
I agree.
He can't win them.
I agree. And I remember a couple years ago when people were saying Herbert's going to be better than Allen, or Herbert's better than Allen. No, he's not. He will never be better than Allen. Josh Allen, he's like, all bias taking out of it. If I was any other team in the league, maybe besides the Chiefs, only because they have Pat Mahomes, I'd want Josh Allen as my quarterback.
Chiefs, yeah, or the Bengals. I feel like the Bengals too. I feel like they're fine with Joe. They're fine with Joe.
They're fine with Joe, but I think I'd still rather have Josh Allen. Joe Burrow just fits the scheme a lot better.
Yeah, and he's got Jamar there. So.
Yeah. You don't need to run with Jamar Chase as your wide receiver. You don't necessarily need to run with Diggs as your wide receiver, but
The one thing I've noticed about Diggs is he makes sure he catches the ball, and then he just like
he
if
kind
he
of
sees
stops.
somebody, he just stops. He's done. He doesn't.
I mean,
He,
I like that.
I mean, I like it. Yeah, because he makes sure that.
Yeah, he makes sure he
He-
catches it. He doesn't want to take any big hits. As long as it
Gabe-
doesn't hurt us, really.
Gabe needs to take another step.
He does.
He's there, but
He's there. He's just gotta get over the top.
He's gotta be consistent with it.
Yeah. He's such a talented wide receiver. He's just gotta get there.
Mhm.
And I thought last year was going to be his year after what he did in the playoffs. I mean,
Um,
and then he got hurt, and that was it.
yeah.
But I think he's a good wide receiver too. Here going to next week strong
Yeah.
in New England. I think that's a win. And Foxborough, tough place to play, but Buffalo has played good in Foxborough recently.
They still have a good defense.
Yeah,
They
Patriots
lost.
are still
They
good. They
lose.
still got
They
Belichick.
lost Christian
Belichick.
Gonzalez. Who
That's
has
a tough
been
one.
stud. He was a stud this year for them.
He's a very good corner. I like Christian Gonzalez a lot.
And then they lost Judon too.
Yeah. So they got injuries, we got injuries, but I think ultimately the Bills win. I think.
And then Sunday night football.
What is on Sunday night? Oh yeah, Dolphins at Eagles.
Philly.
Give me the Eagles. Go Philly. I'm all in on Philly this week.
We're all in on Philly this week. We think Miami will get there. Because we saw what Buffalo did to them.
That is true. Against good defenses,
The
they are
defense
not
is
very good.
really good.
I saw a stat today. It's like the strength of wins, and Miami's was like 0.175 or something like that, which is not very good because Buffalo's is 0.500.
Yeah.
And they've beaten the Giants, the Commanders, and the
They
Raiders.
just played. Let's see Miami's schedule for the rest of the season.
It's got to be tough, right? Like their start is so easy.
Yeah. So they got Eagles, Pats, Chiefs, Raiders, Jets, Commanders, Titans, Jets again, Cowboys, Ravens, Bills. So they got some tough games
The
in there.
Chiefs game, I think, is in Germany.
Yeah, it is.
It's fun. I think they lose at least 4, maybe 5
I
or
think they
6.
lose 4 more, yeah, 4 or 5.
Because they're not going to lose too many games this year. But if they go 11-6, I think that's about what
Yeah.
they look like right now. They haven't played a team with a winning record besides the Bills. And
Yeah.
we all know how that went.
So there's still some question marks around them.
There is. We'll see how they do against the Eagles, and then
Yeah.
they get into their tougher parts of the schedule.
Yep.
Julio signed
Julio,
with the Eagles a couple days, or was it yesterday? I think.
He
like
probably
that-
won't do much, honestly.
No, he probably won't. It's a help for wide receiver 3. I
Yeah.
like the signing. He'll get a couple of targets here and there, but nothing too extreme. And then, how about that Chargers fan?
Oh yeah.
Dude, that was so weird.
Ooh.
That just like
Yeah.
that made me my spine tingle, you know? Like it's something,
Happy happy.
Yeah,
Brought her right on the show.
yeah. She claims she's not an industry plant, but I think she is. There's no way somebody's that into the Chargers game.
Yeah, what?
And they had the perfect line on her with the cameras, and she was in the perfect box with the perfect view.
Yeah.
And then there was a picture of her at a Vikings game.
Yeah, I know. Like,
How about in the Bills game after Sean
Mhm.
McDermott and Brian Dable?
that was interesting. That
At first I didn't see it, and then my buddy brought it up to me, and he said apparently that after the Chiefs 13 seconds game that they had some words in the tunnel or the locker room or whatever it was. I don't know if this is true, but apparently they did not end on the greatest terms.
that's interesting. Well, Terry Miller, he's boys with Dable, grew up together. So
Yeah.
he didn't say much about it. Anything about him leaving.
I don't know. I'm glad he's got a head coaching job, though. I mean, he's run into a wall with his team, though.
Yeah, does Tyrod start for them now? Like
Why not?
after
Dude?
that performance?
You paid
Like-
Daniel Jones that much money, and he is just not good.
That was the worst decision ever by them, and I said it when they did it. Like, what are you doing? You're gonna pay him, but you're not gonna pay your star running back, who's literally the face of your franchise for the
Yep.
next however many
Yep.
years. I mean, I understand he's running back, but it's Saquon, dude.
We're going into week 7. Who do you
Mhm.
think is at the top of the awards in the NFL?
MVP's got to be Tua right now.
Yeah, I think
Gotta be.
MVP. Anybody else you could put up there as of right now? I mean, if Christian McCaffrey didn't get hurt, he'd be second.
I agree, but
So
he would never win it because he's
right,
a running
it's,
back.
it's a quarterback award.
Yeah,
So yeah,
And
two is my number one as well. I think
yeah.
if he keeps
And
playing
then-
the way he's playing, he'll win the MVP.
And then I like Josh as a second there.
I agree.
If
I agree.
if
He's still
if, if
playing
it's
good.
only yeah.
Yeah, I think Mahomes, Allen, and Hurts, they're all up there. I don't know about Hurts as
I-
much, but
I would put Purdy in front of Hurts, honestly.
that's true. That's true. I like Purdy too. And I think if any other skill position could win it, Tyreek Hill would be up there.
Tyreek Hill would be up there, yeah.
And then my sleeper, Jared Goff. Dude, go Lions. They are playing
Yeah.
awesome.
They are amazing, yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's any chance he wins the MVP,
Probably not,
but
but
if he
playing
if
very
he
good
could
right now.
take them to like a 13-4 record and he plays just good all year, he could be top
Mhm.
3
Yeah.
offensive player of the year. Again, if Christian McCaffrey doesn't get hurt, he wins this with ease. And now
Yeah,
Tyreek
I
Hill, I
agree.
guess, is the other option.
It's between Tyreek and McCaffrey.
And I think
Those are
that
the
might
only
be
options.
that might be the simplest award that there is right now.
Yeah.
Defensive player of the year. There's a lot of guys.
I like TJ Watt.
I do
Again.
like TJ Watt too. I think TJ Watt's played the best out of anybody right now.
Yeah.
But then again, a lot of season left. A lot of defensive players who are just outstanding.
You got Myles Garrett, you got
Nick Bosa,
Bosa, Michael Parsons.
got a lot of guys.
That one's up for grabs.
I do think though that TJ Watt's in the lead right now.
I agree.
Offensive rookie of the year.
Who do we put here? Do we put Puka?
Puka is. I don't know if he can do it for the whole season.
Yeah, that's the thing because Cubs back.
I mean, he's been really
tough.
good,
Yeah,
but it's going to be a long season. We'll see where he fares at the end. Other than
But
that,
right.
it's
Mm.
it's CJ Stroud, right?
CJ.
Because let's be honest, it's going to be a quarterback award at the end of the year. And the way CJ Stroud's been playing, I think it's him.
Yeah,
But
I think so
if
too.
Puka Nacua can keep it up all season, you could see like a Jefferson Herbert debate.
Yeah,
Justin Jefferson
Honestly.
should have won that award, but
100%.
and then defensive player of the year. There's a lot of good guys. I really like this
I
defensive
love
class.
Witherspoon.
Witherspoon
love
has been
Witherspoon.
so good.
So good.
So good. I mean, the way he played against the Giants, like the Giants, they're not that good. Don't get me wrong, but he was standout beyond belief. He played amazing in that game.
If you didn't know who he was before that game, now you do.
Yeah, he broke out that game. And every time I think of his name, I always think back to that hit he had. I think it was against Indiana. He just
Yeah.
I think he ran out on a little bubble route, the running back, and he just met him and just took him out.
Yeah.
And that running back was like banged up bad after that. But other than Devon Witherspoon, Jalen Carter, Will Anderson,
Jalen Carter,
Brian
yeah.
Branch. I mean, there's so many guys you could pick from, but I think Jalen Carter's second for me.
Me too.
And then Will Anderson at third.
Yeah.
I think I think Witherspoon and Carter are running away with the top two.
Mm.
But I like Witherspoon as my one.
Yeah.
And then coach of the year. Give me Dan Campbell. I thought he wasn't even going to make it a year. I didn't think he was going to make it a year. And now he's coaching the 5-1 Lions.
If the Jets make the playoffs,
He
Robert
would
Saleh.
definitely. If the Jets make the playoffs, I think you give Zach Wilson comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
That's another award. But if the Jets do make the playoffs, I think you can put Salah in the top 3.
Yeah.
I think other than Mike McDaniel will be up there if they continue to win.
Yeah.
D'Amico
Dan
Ryans.
Campbell Dan Campbell wins this award though.
It has to be Dan Campbell. The way the season's going so far, I don't think anybody else can win it. And then the last one is comeback player of the year. And look, you can really say it's anybody, but it's gonna be DeMar Hamlin, dude. He played in an NFL game.
Whether you like it or not, it's gonna be him.
Yeah, like I'm so happy for DeMar Hamlin that he was able to get back. But at least a Bill is gonna win an award, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Honestly.
But as Jalen Hurts says, money is nice, championships are better.
Yeah.
So let's go out there and win a championship.
Yeah, let's do it.
So to run that down, I mean, you got Tua, Tyreek, or Christian McCaffrey, depending on which one can stay more healthy.
Yeah.
T.J. Watt, Micah Parsons. You got C.J. Stroud, Devin Witherspoon, and then Dan Campbell and DeMar Hamlin. Let's get into our picks. Let's do that now, and then we'll.
All right.
Let's start with the NFL. Thursday Night Football, Jacksonville at New Orleans, 8:15 prime time. Who do you got?
I think Jacksonville wins this game.
I agree with you. I don't
They're
think
playing good right now.
Yeah, I think they're on a tear. I could see New Orleans putting up a fight.
I could see them,
but I think at the end of the day, New Orleans' offense is just not there. New Orleans' defense is good, but I think Jacksonville's better.
Yeah.
Although Trevor Lawrence is hurt. I don't think he's out yet. I think he was practicing, or he wasn't practicing, or he was limited or something.
It's one day ago. Knee rapidly improving. Thursday Night Football in play.
Okay.
So
if he plays Jags, if he doesn't Saints.
Yes. Yes.
That's a fair. Moving to Sunday, 1:00 slate. Vegas at Chicago.
No Justin Fields, Vegas.
Yeah. Vegas beat the Patriots without Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Chicago might actually be worse.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Vegas.
Yeah, I got
Cleveland at Indianapolis. Another quarterback that's hurt.
Yeah, Deshaun. Both of them.
That's true. But give me Cleveland.
But
they played
Cleveland's
great.
Still better.
Their
They're
defense
team,
played so good against the 49ers.
Yep.
Give me Cleveland. We don't even have to say the next game because Buffalo's going to win. Washington at New York Giants.
Now that's a tough one.
Yeah, this game's going to be so bad.
It's going to be bad.
I think
New York turns it around. They get a win here.
Is Daniel Jones back this week?
It's
New York, they showed they could be a good team, defensively at least.
Yeah.
Offense is still not. This is a tough one.
It's in New York. I think they can get it done. I got New York. I got Giants winning this one.
I agree. I think, yeah. If Saquon Barkley can pop off, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think they'll beat Washington at home. Atlanta at Tampa. I got Tampa.
I also have Tampa.
I think Atlanta's just not good.
Yeah. They got Bijan. That's about it.
This is a fun one. Okay, here we go. We're getting to some good games. Detroit at Baltimore.
At Baltimore.
This actually might be my pick of the week. Got Detroit +3. I don't think Baltimore is an insanely strong home team, which if they were, I would take Baltimore, but Detroit is on fire. And they could easily have their fuse put out by Baltimore, but give me Detroit this week.
Give me Detroit, too.
Pittsburgh at the Rams.
I got the Rams. I got the Rams.
The Rams?
Get Pittsburgh out of here. Get Pittsburgh out of here. They are not good.
You are right. I agree with you there. Give me the Rams. Arizona at Seattle. Come on.
That's Seattle.
Seattle, yeah. Green Bay at Denver. Oh, that actually could be a good one. I mean, not like in terms of the game itself, but it could be a close game.
Green Bay.
I'll take Green Bay as well. Chargers at Chiefs. As much as I want to just go right over it and say, "Give me the Chiefs." The Chargers always tend to play good against the Chiefs.
They do. But I think the Chiefs at home.
I do think the Chiefs too. But yeah, I got the Chiefs. So far, we have picked no opposite games.
Yeah, that's not good. That means one of them's wrong.
Yeah. Miami at Philly. I can't pick Miami. Give me Philly.
I can't either. I don't see them beating them anyways.
Yeah.
I really see
In
them
Philly,
winning that game.
Philly's going to be rocking on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Give me Philly.
And then
San
Monday
Francisco
night.
at Minnesota. Oh, jeez.
49.
Minnesota's banged up. No Justin Jefferson. San Francisco will bounce back, get a win.
go.
So we picked the exact same teams.
Yep.
And I mean, they're all good picks too. Like I can't.
They're reasonable picks.
Yeah, there's a couple toss-up games, but most of them are pretty cut and dry.
Mhm.
Starting with the 12 o'clock slot, Penn State at Ohio State. I think we both picked this earlier, but we'll just go over it again. I got Ohio State.
I got Ohio State. Go Bucks.
Washington State at Oregon.
Got to take Oregon.
I got to take Oregon as well. Tennessee at Alabama. We might have our
We
first.
talked about this one
we
earlier.
did talk about this one, but I think we're going to have our first. I did pick Alabama earlier.
Yeah, you did.
I won't change it. Ole Miss goes to Auburn. We've seen Auburn put up a fight against Georgia. That could be a tough game.
Ooh, I like that. Ooh.
You know those Auburn fans are going to get rowdy.
Mhm.
I still think give me Ole Miss.
I'll take Auburn.
All right, we got our first,
Take Auburn.
opposite pick. I could see Auburn winning that game.
I could see them winning this year.
They gave up a good fight against Georgia, and they play the same, and things go their
Mhm.
way. I think they could win that one, but I'll take Ole
Yeah.
Miss. Duke going to Florida State with their backup quarterback. Unless Riley Leonard. When is Riley Leonard's injury over?
I don't know, dude.
I don't think it's this week. Oh, he could. It says he could return against Florida State.
Ooh.
So
maybe.
that's some good news for Duke fans.
Mhm.
Give me Florida State.
Yeah, Florida
He's-
State.
He's going to be,
100%.
I mean, I
Florida
could be
State.
wrong, but Riley Leonard, if he plays this week, he could be a little rusty.
Mhm.
He's still a great quarterback, but Florida State at home, they're going to win.
Yeah, I agree.
Utah goes to USC. Utah has USC's number. Seems like every year.
I do like Utah in this game.
We do.
I do.
I think USC bounces back. I think USC
I think
can,
I did say earlier that I think that USC will bounce back. Give
It's
me
not-
Utah.
It's not
Give
against
me
the
Utah.
rules. All right, Utah, USC. It's going to be a good game. Hopefully. Could be a defensive battle. Could be an offensive battle. Probably an offensive battle. But actually,
The
well,
worst
Utah's-
offense versus the worst defense, and the best offense versus the best defense.
Yep. I like that game. That's going to be a fun one to watch. We'll do this one too. Clemson at Miami. Do you think Clemson can get Miami?
I'm taking Miami.
You like my? I'm going to take Clemson. I dislike Miami a lot because they continue to prove me right. I do not think they're good. I never have thought
Yeah.
they're good. Georgia Tech. Now, even if they win that game, you shouldn't have
was
to
bad.
escape Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech got a good transfer quarterback in Haynes King from A&M, but they're still not a good team. Like, they're still at the bottom of the ACC. You shouldn't have to escape Georgia Tech if you're
Yeah.
good.
No. Yeah, I agree.
And then they proved me right by losing to North Carolina. So, I got Clemson in this one. I think Clemson needs a win if they want to stay Clemson. And I think they go into Hard Rock and knock off. Well, not really knock off because they're not ranked, but they beat Miami.
Yeah. I'll still take Miami.
And then there's two Pac-12 after dark games, which are not the greatest, but Arizona State has given some teams tough tests. Now,
Yeah.
Washington's
But it's
probably better
Washington.
overall than USC, in terms of
Mhm.
defense. So give me Washington in that one. But
Give me Washington.
UCLA goes to Stanford. Stanford is on a whole other planet right now. They are
Stanford's not good.
they're not good, no. They knocked off Deion Sanders. Like, you could say they beat a bad Colorado team, but Deion Sanders is so popular right now
Yeah.
in college football that they're on cloud nine.
Yeah.
Do you think they have any chance of beating UCLA?
I don't think so.
No.
I really don't.
I agree with you. I don't think Stanford can get it done, and UCLA.
2 weeks in a row? No
That's
way.
true. And UCLA needs a bounce back win. They lost to a very good Oregon State team.
Mm.
I think UCLA gets it done. Other than that, the last couple things to touch up on, you got MLB playoffs going on right now. Phillies
I'm
and
taking
Rangers.
The Phillies to win the World Series, dude.
Phillies
They're
over
on-
Rangers in the World Series. Give me it. lock
They
it in.
are
Phillies are on fire.
something.
Red
I don't know.
October is in full effect.
Yeah.
I will say, when your team is not in the playoffs, it has no meaning to you.
Yeah.
Like,
not at all.
I have not found myself just sitting there and watching a full game of playoff baseball like I usually
Yeah.
do.
The only reason I have is because of my roommate.
That's yeah.
Those are the only games I watch.
But I will sit down and watch a Phillies game. This team is
Yeah.
fun to watch. They're just on fire. They're fun. They're a fun team, and they're really good.
Yeah.
And then the Rangers on the other side of the bracket are playing.
They're really
very
good too. Their
And you know-
bullpen is something.
And somebody's coming back to Houston tonight. Max Scherzer.
Oh,
Dude, this could go one of two ways. Houston could either shell him, or Max Scherzer is going to shut down and they're going to go up 3-0.
I hope they go up 3-0.
I do too. I think Phillies over Rangers is the consensus pick right now. The Diamondbacks just look outmatched. They had a great season. It's still not over technically. But
Yeah, I
they're-
mean, Citizens Bank is a hard stadium to play. in.
they ran
So
into
you never
a
know
team.
once they get back to Arizona.
That's true. Arizona is
Maybe.
they've made it this far,
Yeah.
so they have to be a good team, right? Arizona, I'm surprised. I didn't even realize they were that good this year. Like, I haven't
I
paid too
didn't
much
say
attention to baseball because the Yankees have been so bad.
No, me neither.
But-
Horrible.
The season's not over yet. I think there's still a chance for them to turn around, but the Phillies are just playing so good right now. They are on a mission.
Yeah,
They
I agree.
want that ring.
Mm-hmm.
Other
Yeah.
than that, nothing really going on. NHL started up, but
Sabres finally got their first
Sabres-
win.
Dude, this is one of
Hey.
the season. I was so excited. Like, this is
So
the
was I,
most
dude.
excited by far I was going into the season.
Me
And
too.
we got shelled the first game. What was the final? It was in like 5-1 or something like that.
5-2 maybe.
Yeah.
Might have been 5-1.
How many days ago was it? 5-1, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, New York is a good team. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think
but
we were gonna
not that good. But
I-
we should be losing 5-1.
5-1, and then we lost Friday, right? Was it Friday?
Islanders
Yeah, we lost or Saturday. We lost the
That
Islanders
was-
3-2. That game was closer, but
still don't agree with that offsides call that they said it was onside. Don't agree with
it
that.
seems to always be the
whatsoever.
Islanders, right? A kicked goal. We were a kicked goal away from making the playoffs last year, and
They
then
just
they got
needs
their
to
win.
Get it going.
Yeah. There's a lot of games in the season. I think we'll
Yeah.
be fine.
0 points through 3 though. That's
Yeah.
not what you want from your best player.
Nope, not at all. Hopefully, he can turn around. What's the next game? We play.
Tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah, Calgary.
Yeah.
7
At home.
p.m. at home. Maybe we'll get to a game Thanksgiving break or something.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Other than that, that's about all we have. I mean, we couldn't. I don't think we did enough research to make our picks of the week. I think my pick of the week is
Yeah.
probably going to be Lions +3.
Yeah, I didn't even do any of the research for that.
Yeah. So I mean, at least we know what
Yeah.
we got going on. It'll be a fun week of sports.
Yeah.
It's always a fun week when sports are on, especially football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, that's about all we've got for today. And we're
Yes.
gonna.
Fun first episode.
I mean, hey, we're learning as we go.
Yeah.
We'll put this together and then should be posted by tomorrow. Thank you for listening to the first episode of the Buffalo Take. We will see you next week.